Okay, you guys, we have got to talk about these riots in LA. We'll talk a little bit about like the riots themselves, but I'm more interested in talking about the reaction both online and from our political figures, because the left and Democrats just truly refuse to learn anything. Okay, before we can get into any of that, this is your reminder to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. And if you want to follow me on any other social medias, those are linked down below in the description as always. And without any further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so obviously, like, the first and foremost, like, the most talked about aspect of this is the fact that Trump has deployed the National Guard. So I am uploading this video on Thursday, which is going to be the 12th. I'm filming it on the 10th. So if anything has happened between the 10th and the 12th that is not included in this video, that would be why. Trump, I believe, deployed the National Guard on the 7th. And I want to... let me show you guys. Okay, so I wanted to start off with this clip just because I found it to be absolutely comical. Gavin Newsom said, Donald Trump admits that he will arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office. So I want to check this out with you guys.
Just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten...
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And that's pretty bad. It's a wrong philosophy. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space.
Okay, so you get the point. It's a joke. I mean, you're kidding me. The fact that Newsom posted this with any level of seriousness of Trump admits that he'll arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office is such a joke, because Trump is obviously... What crime did he commit? He ran for governor. Like, oh my God. Okay. Totally honestly beside the point of the riots, but I saw this and was just like, you are such a joke. But this I thought was very interesting. He responded also to Vance and said, we didn't have a problem until Trump got involved, which is so freaking insane. And Vance posted just a couple of photos from before the National Guard was deployed. Yeah, obviously there was no problem here. This video here was also from before the National Guard was deployed. The officers, as you just saw, he just got hit with a rock. They're stuck underneath this bridge because people are throwing shit at them from up above. But you're absolutely right. There was no problem in LA before the National Guard got deployed. Everything was so perfectly fine. Mostly peaceful, they might say. And, you know, that's the tricky thing about mostly peaceful, right? Is if there are 20 different protests going on throughout the city of LA and 8 of them turned violent, then yeah, most of the protests were peaceful. But here's the thing. The leftist protests that turn violent tend to become incredibly violent. And I can already hear people screaming about January 6th because people have been screaming about January 6th all day. And my stance on January 6th has always been the people who committed property crimes deserve to get in trouble. You don't just get to go and break windows and break in and be destructive anywhere. That's not something you get to do. The whole problem a lot of people had with January 6th is there's people who are in jail who didn't do anything, who were escorted in by police. So that's a whole nother matter for another time, though. Here is another video. I guess, yeah, this one's just a compilation of a bunch of vehicles on fire. Yeah, totally. This is insane. And if you don't know, these riots that we're seeing video of are in response to ICE raids that have been happening throughout the entire country. I mean, throughout the whole throughout all of the riots, you're seeing Mexican flags, you're seeing all of these different foreign flags, because it's a lot of illegals. It's a lot of people who are here illegally and like protesting their right to continue staying in our country illegally and breaking our laws. I don't quite understand. I think it's actually insane to come to a country illegally and then vandalize that country and wave the flags of the country for which you refuse to return to. That's crazy, but do you, boo, I guess. But play stupid games. Okay, so this was hilarious. Somebody posted a video clip from a riot that was happening in the Summer of Love back in 2020 and said, if I hear one more leftist shill in mainstream media utter the words peaceful protests, I'll throw up. Obviously, this person was not aware that this was a clip from 2020, but it doesn't matter because there's plenty of destructive clips from 2025. So really, who cares? Gavin Newsom responds, though, saying, this is from 2020. Hey, Gav, I don't think that matters, boo, because you were governor in 2020, too. And that's kind of the thing that everyone has been saying is, I don't think that's the own that you think it is, babe. Because, unfortunately, the city has burned twice in riots over the last 5 years, and you were in charge both times. So I don't know. And I've seen people responding to that saying, well, Trump was president both times. And it's like, I'm sorry that the left is is a bunch of lunatics. Like, if your response to something happening, an election happening that you don't like, is to burn your city down, that's just not sane. That's just not the sane. That's not the sane response. If you want to get conspiratorial with it, which you know your girl loves to do, the Democrat backers just simply weren't funding protests for the Biden administration, because why would they? It would make them look bad. Someone did respond with this video though and said, okay, now do this one, because this one is from 2025. So one thing that I have found to be incredible is the audacity with which Democrats have been saying that these are mostly peaceful, though. We kind of touched on it a little bit a couple minutes ago, but Kamala Harris, thank you God for not electing her, thank you God, put this statement out. Los Angeles is my home, and like so many Americans, I am appalled at what we are witnessing on the streets of our city. Deploying the National Guard is a dangerous escalation meant to provoke chaos. In addition to the recent ICE raids in Southern California and across our nation, it is part of the Trump administration's cruel, calculated agenda to spread panic and division. This administration's actions are not about public safety. They're about stoking fear of a community demanding dignity and due process. Protest is a powerful tool, essential in fighting for justice. And as the LAPD, mayor, and governor have noted, demonstrations in defense of our immigrant neighbors have been overwhelmingly peaceful. I continue to support the millions of Americans who are standing up to protect our most fundamental freedoms and rights. She really thought she did a big one with that. Unfortunately, she's an idiot. Please tell me how there was already riots occurring. Okay. Gavin Newsom did nothing. Okay. Similar to 2020. And it's almost as if they do nothing because they know that it looks bad for Trump. There's a clip of Rachel Maddow out there. I don't care to go track it down, but I saw it. I just didn't save it. And she makes some point that she makes some point that Trump can't cope with the drastic uprising of people against him, and then she ends it with, it's over, big guy, you lost. Boo, what are you even talking about? So you're saying that because people are participating in organized riots like exactly how they did in 2020, that means that the majority of Americans don't support closing the border and deportations? That doesn't track, babe. That doesn't track. Coming back to this, though, she says here, protest is a powerful tool. Absolutely. Feel free to protest. I think it was Tyler Cohen, maybe, or a Krasenstein brother, who had posted saying, maybe I have it and I'll pull it up. He posted saying something to the effect of, these are the riots they're talking about. And it was a clip of a peaceful protest. And I'm just like, brother, excuse me, the audacity, like that's the thing is it's so audacious to pretend like people are mad about people having like signs on the side of the street. No one cares. That is your right as an American to do such a thing. You do not have the right to riot. And for Kamala Harris to post this and act as if the riots aren't happening is absurd. And the absurdity doesn't end there. Because, of course, we have the most brilliant mind of our generation, Hillary Clinton. California Governor Newsom didn't request the National Guard be deployed to his state following peaceful demonstrations. Trump sent them anyway. It's the first time in 60 years a president has made that choice. Trump's goal isn't to keep Californians safe. His goal is to cause chaos because chaos is good for Trump. I have a question about the peaceful demonstrations for which you speak, because I saw cars burning, I saw police trapped under bridges, I saw police chiefs begging for help and being ignored by their mayor and their governor. That's personally what I saw before Trump deployed the National Guard. So please, Miss Clinton, tell me, these people think you're an idiot. Know that Hillary Clinton truly does think that you're stupid. And then be smarter than she expects. Here we have more clips, different perspectives of people throwing rocks at the cop cars. This was before the National Guard was deployed, okay? Before. And keep in mind, the reason that they're even there is because the protesters were blocking off the road, the highway. Insane. And then they have the audacity to be mad when they get shot with rubber bullets or get tear gassed. Like, you do not have the right to do this. How is that complicated? Hasan Piker posted this. People who freak out about retaliation to cops at these rallies need to attend one protest and they'll quickly realize the agitators are the armed dudes in riot gear tear gassing thousands of unarmed taxpayers who are paying for the chemicals as well as their salaries and pensions. This is a protest that is blocking off the highway. Once again, you do not have the right to protest in this fashion. You don't. You do not have the right to protest in a way that impedes the free movement of other people, which this does. And if you're going to do that, then you are playing a stupid game. And say it with me, stupid games wins what, ladies and gentlemen? Stupid prizes. And maybe a tear gas is a stupid fucking prize. I thought this was an interesting post. You have all of these things. Trump is manufacturing the crisis. People are protesting peacefully. There is no emergency. But then you have the LAPD chief. Let's just hear it straight from him.
We saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent. Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable. We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity and the type of things that they're doing. They'll take backpacks, and the backpack will have a cinder block in it. They have a hammer, and they'll break up the cinder block and use that, pass it around to throw at officers, to throw at cars, and throw at other people. We've seen people with hammers, and you broadcasted, breaking the bollards behind the federal building and taking the rocks, if you will, or pieces of concrete, and throwing them at officers. We've had liquid of who knows what description thrown at officers. There's no limit to what they're doing to our officers. And again, as I mentioned in my statement, I can't thank our folks enough and our partner agency police officials for going out there and taking care of the community.
He literally says it here that they're overwhelmed. They don't have enough people. They don't have enough manpower for the types of things that they are facing. So you tell me, the chief of the LAPD is saying, we're overwhelmed. We need help. Why is Gavin Newsom not okay with Trump sending that help? Because it's political. Because, one, the protests look bad for Trump. They love that. Two, Trump sending in help and resolving it looks good for Trump. They hate that. So, of course, just let the citizens and the cops suffer. Obviously, because we can't let Trump have anything happy happen. Here is a video of the Apple store in LA getting looted last night. Once again, completely and totally peaceful. And once again, this is completely and totally appropriate and necessary. It is exactly like what we saw in 2020. I mean, it's so insane that people support this and think that this is like, okay, normal behavior. And of course, because it is exactly like 2020, we have to have idiots on air. Idiots on air. Y'all take a listen to this shit. I cannot believe.
Large group of people. It could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there in the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and
just a bunch of folks gathering and watching the cars burn. They're just having a jolly good time, roasting some marshmallows, enjoying the nice weather. The stars are out. Actually, they're not, because it's LA and it's full of muck, but that's beside the point. They're just having fun watching the cars burn, don't you know? And stupid Trump, he's just ruining their fun. Unbelievable. That is like actually the most insane. That might be more insane than the mostly peaceful protest Chiron from back in 2020. That actually might top it, because that is something. Okay, this is the video I was talking about. Is this the riot in Los Angeles, California that Trump needs the Marines to help stop? And this is the video, of course. And of course it was a fucking Krasenstein brother. Idiot. Yeah, no. Ed, that's not actually what people are concerned about. And you know that. That's the thing. That's the thing that pisses me off, is he knows that this is not what people are concerned about. Okay, guys, that is everything that I had on the topic. As far as what I think about what's going on, obviously it's insane that these riots are going as hard as they are, but I'm not all that surprised. I think that it is per game plan to have large riots under the Trump presidency. In foil hat, I think they're quite planned. I think they're quite organized. I just think it's too much of a coincidence that this is exactly perfectly mirroring the riots that we saw in 2020. They just don't feel organic to me at all. And of course, the left can't help but make them incredibly violent and dangerous. And then when Trump tries to stop it, because Gavin Newsom won't, he's the bad guy, naturally, of course. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we will chat next time. Bye.